Welcome to the Mayhem News Live Wrestling Broadcast with your host, the Man in Black, a.k.a. Team Lives. Each week we're here talking about the wrestling headlines and covering everything from Impact Wrestling to SmackDown. Join us each Tuesday via MayhemNews.com and the Mayhem News Live YouTube channel. You can subscribe to both and keep up with wrestling news and our show. Hi, this is Mayhem News Live Wrestling Broadcast with the Man in Black, a.k.a. TB Lives. It'll be a short show. Found out my sinus infection was actually the starting of pneumonia. Yeah, great present to return back to Wisconsin too. So like I said, it's going to be a one-topic show. I've been talking about, there's a lot of people talking about this thing with TNA and Spike TV. Most people actually saw it coming. Excuse me. Most people saw it coming. Been many people talking about that they were probably going to lose their TV spot. Does this mean they're dead? Well, they've got to the end of October, the first week of September. Miracles do happen. There's been a lot of talk, can they survive with just the overseas stuff, and most people say no, they're not lucrative enough to keep them alive. Now, I myself haven't been watching TNA as often as I used to because, well, Sting's not on there, but I do keep up with their shows, and it's kind of feel bad. Says hello, by the way. I kind of feel bad for the stars, the superstars that just signed new contracts, who probably aren't going to get paid those full contracts. Kind of feel bad because a lot of them are not going to be going to WWE or Ring of Honor. Some of them have burned bridges, and I kind of lost respect for TNA because they allowed Matt Hardy to get back on there. I'm sorry, any man who raises his hand to a woman, unless she's actually got a gun pointed at his head, or even in that case does more than just disarm her, is not a man to me and shouldn't be on TV. He sets a bad example, and he shouldn't be on TV. So I kind of lost a lot of respect for TNA. I like a lot of their talent, though. I really do. Rick Rude. You can tell I'm on a lot of medicine. Okay. Bobby Roode and the Cowboy James Storm and some of these guys that are just, stick out. I still can't believe they let AJ Styles walk out. I mean, the guy been there since the start. I have a feeling you'll see AJ show up down there in Jeff Jarrett's new global thing. I think that's where he'll go. But now, everybody's talking about, well, it's terrible for TNA, but this isn't going to be actually good for WWE. WWE tends to build and actually shine when they're up against somebody. Well, now all of a sudden he doesn't have anybody to go up against except for regular TV shows, which therein lies the problem. A lot of regular TV shows get better ratings anyway. So if he has to go up against, say, name any popular TV show now. If he has to go up against that, they might not do that good in the ratings. Now, as far as wrestling, as far as them, doing wrestling, they're going to do great because they're not going to have any competition. I'm sorry, Ring of Honor is kind of hard unless you live in certain states where the TV company actually carries Ring of Honor. You can't see Ring of Honor, and then when you can see it, half the time it's a rerun, and it's never a new show, and they seem to be out of order. That is one reason why I stopped reporting on them, because I could never figure out anything. And the only way to get any information from them on their website is to actually pay to join their website, their fan club, and I can go to WWE.com and look up on a medical report and say, well, so and so, instead of having a concussion, he just got shook up. Well, I can't do that with Ring of Honor because you have to pay, and I just don't see. Hey, sorry, my son was trying to get something he shouldn't. No, I just think that WWE's might see a hit, because they're not up against anybody, and they're really not they're not up against anybody, so it's going to cause their ratings to kind of jiggle a little bit. And if they're up against some of these regular TV shows, they're going to take a hit anyway. As I said on the little report when I told everybody what happened on the trip, Triple H seems to think that the internet wrestling community doesn't know what they're talking about. I admit, in some cases they don't, especially when it comes to the dirt sheets or just trying to get so many hits on a web page. But Triple H, we don't really like you either. We like you as a wrestler, and I don't get that wrong, but as a guy in a suit walking out, you are not Vince McMahon, and Stephanie is not Linda McMahon. So, he can say what he wants to. He can say, well, the internet wrestling community doesn't know what they're talking about. Well, we're wondering if you actually know what you're doing. You've got talent sitting around that are just dying for a job, and you keep pushing these same old people. Take the three top stars that you're pushing. Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar can't do a promo good enough to get himself out of a wet paper bag. Randy Orton can talk. He looks nice on TV, but he can't, most people are when he starts to talk because he says the same damn thing every time he says something. And, I like John Cena, but they really need to start swinging John's character a different way. Cena has been doing the same thing for the last 8 years. Now, I think for the first 2 years, he was heel. Nobody stays face all the time. Everybody turns heel some. They've got to mix it up somehow. And I really think that they need to stay, because he's starting to get stale. He's getting older. And, I've already met up with some of these people that say John Cena can't wrestle. Well, you can say that stuff you want to, but, he was trained by some of the same people that trained a lot of the superstars that you cheer and boo him. So he does know how to wrestle. Do they push him in our face a lot? Yeah. Could they spread that out a little bit? Yeah. Are they? Probably not. But it's just, at least Cena can cut a promo. Brock Lesnar couldn't fight his way out of a fake traffic ticket if he wanted to try to talk his way out of it. So, you just gotta think about it. With TNA fixing to be gone, and we know that there's only, I would say, 10 people that could probably go to WWE without a problem. Bobby Roode, James Storm. I would probably say that the Dudleys would probably be able to go back. Now, there is a lot of talk that they do not like Bubba. But but there's a lot of people there that there's at least 10 people that could actually go. Hell, Rockstar Spud. Some of these guys, I feel bad for them because Triple H is not into hiring little wrestlers. He's not into hiring tiny guys. These guys like Rey Mysterio used to be. Sorry. Anyway, excuse me. But I think for once they need to he needs to start letting some of these people in. He needs to go ahead and bring Sting out, do whatever he's going to do with Sting. If he's going to have him in there, fine. And it's going to be something different. I'm tired of seeing the same old crap. If I can go back and watch a show that was a week old, and tell someone what I saw on the show, and they say, "Oh, you did watch last night," then it's time to change up things. You need to get rid of some writers. You need to start looking into other things to do besides sitting here. And, everybody's talking about Sting versus The Undertaker. Sting doesn't have to face The Undertaker. That's what he wants, but it may not be possible. The Undertaker may not be up to a wrestling match again. He might be to the point where, he just don't want to risk being able to walk. You get to a certain age, you start worrying about stuff like that. And every time he jumped, after about, I'd say 19-0, I started kind of worrying about him when he'd take a run and start to jump over the top rope and hit somebody. And I just think it's time to move on. If Sting can't face him, that's fine. There's plenty of people that Sting hadn't faced that would be just as interesting. So I just think that I think it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt WWE more than just the fact that TNA is closing, and they can't watch wrestling anywhere else. So they're going to watch it here. That's not exactly true. Well, my voice is about to fail. It's getting to the point where it's kind of starting to hurt to talk. But I wanted to cover the TNA possibly, not being here. And but don't if you can't watch wrestling, you don't want to watch WWE. Start doing some research on your local indie wrestling. If you're in the Wisconsin area, around Milwaukee or Janesville or Madison, David Hero's always got a good show going on, almost every month, sometimes 2 or 3 times a month. And they're not that expensive, and they're not that far to drive. And he got great shows, and he has some big stars that show up there too. So, I think you'd enjoy it. Well, this has been the Man in Black. This has also been the Mayhem News Live Wrestling broadcast. I do apologize for my absence, and I'll try to get back to a regular schedule as soon as I can get some of this crap down in my voice and let me. Always check out our sponsors at the end of the thing, and I really appreciate it. This has been the Man in Black, a.k.a. T-Mib Lives, and we're out. Welcome to the Mayhem News Live Wrestling broadcast with your host, the Man in Black, a.k.a. T-Mib Lives. Each week we're here talking about the wrestling headlines and covering everything from Impact Wrestling to SmackDown. Join us each Tuesday via MayhemNews.com and the Mayhem News Live YouTube channel. You can subscribe to both and keep up with wrestling news and our show.